All right, everybody. Let's get started. Sorry for the delay there. I had a little bit of an issue with the mixer, so if there were any sound issues, I apologize. So welcome on back, everybody, to another VATSIM 101 stream. For those of you that are new here, how this usually works is I take you through a flight in VATSIM, break things down nice and slowly as we go through it, and answer any questions that you have along the way. Friday nights, we normally get involved in one of the Friday night ops, which are big chaotic events that VATSIM puts on for the community, and then we just fly in the event. However, there is no official Friday night op tonight, so we're going to do some flying around Alaska in the Citation 10. So we'll probably do a couple of short flights here. Right now, we are at Anchorage. We're going to fly down to Juneau, and then from Juneau, we'll turn the plane around, and we will fly it someplace else. But like any other stream that we do here, if you do have any questions, you can feel free, pop them in the chat at any point, and we will certainly be able to help you with that. And of course, being that it's not an FNO stream, it's not going to be as crazy and chaotic as it usually is, so I'll try to break down some things, as I'm going through them here. But to get started, let's first get some power to this plane here. So it's been a little bit since I've flown this thing. So just going through the full checklist here. So we have the standby power switch that is down here somewhere, right? Yeah, that's going to come on. Emergency light switch, that's down here too, right? Yeah, that's over here. So that's going to come to ARM. Battery 1 and 2 switches are coming on. I don't remember if... Okay, so that's not controlled by the honeycomb, so that's fine. ECAS power switch coming on. I think that one is... Maybe not. Okay, and that's the avionics switch. Okay. So now we're going to start the APU. So battery 1 and 2 switches are on. Left fuel boost switch. I think those are already on normal. So that's going to be... Yeah, the boost switches are already normal. So APU starter disengage. That's going to be set to normal. Let's get this out of the way so we can see it. So APU test we're going to push. That is this. Okay. And then APU generator switch on. And then it says APU DC volts check 22 minimum. I think that's this. Is that what that is? Hang on a minute. No, I think that's supposed to be that. Oh, wait, I'm missing. Hang on. The master has to come on. Okay, and then the generator comes on. So it says max 20, or minimum 22, excuse me. And then the APU, we're going to just hold start on this. All right, so that's going to get going. And then it says the APU relay engage light on and then off before ready to load light on. All right, so we're just going to see if we can catch that. So I think it comes in, they'll say it right there. Maybe. I don't know. APU, I mean, the APU looks like it's running pretty well. Well, the EGT is coming back, so maybe it's stabilizing here. But we're looking for it to say APU relay engage light on and then off before ready to load light on. Well, where's the ready to load light? I'm assuming it's over here. So I guess we'll just give that a couple of minutes. All right, so while that's doing its thing, let's get a flight plan going here so we can get this on file. So we'll come over to dispatch. Is there anybody online right now? No, it's just us. All right, so create new flight. So no airline, no flight number, departure. Whoops. Departure is going to be Anchorage. Destination is going to be Juneau. Alternate, we're going to leave that at auto. It's probably going to be Anchorage again. Departure time, let's just do the top of the hour. So 30th at the top of the hour. Come on. And then we're going to do the Citation 10. It's the C750. There it is. And then it's going to be FlightFX, no winglets. I don't have the winglets on this one. Then call sign is going to be 621 Charlie Hotel. Why is that here? I didn't want that. Go back up. Yeah, I don't need any of that. Yeah, we're not going to do step climbs or anything. Taxi out time is fine. Schedule block time is 1 hour and 45 minutes. Departures 25 right. Arrivals 26. Why not? Altitude, passengers, freight, payload, 0 fuel weight. They're are all looking good. Looks like upon departure, we're going to fly to Nowhen, then we're going to fly to Cushy, and then we're going to fly, I guess, direct to the Juneau airport. So we can do the, I think it's the Nowhen 3 departure we can do out of here, since Nowhen is going to be that fix. So, I only know that because I've flown it to Anchorage so many friggin' times. So we'll hit generate. And then we'll run an observation for the airport here in just a minute, see exactly what it is that we can expect. So call sign is November 621 Charlie Hotel. Departure is Anchorage. Arrival is Juneau. Alternate looks like it's going to be Yakutat. Aircraft is Citation 10. Departure date and time is August 30th at 0000 Zulu. Air time is 1 hour and 15 minutes. Block time is 1 hour and 55. I do not want to cruise at 45,000. Why am I cruising at 45,000 feet? Maybe let's not. I'm going to keep this. We're going to keep this low. Let's do like. We'll just do 33,000. We don't need to fly up to the friggin' sun for this short of a flight. We'll just do 33,000 feet. Like why are we going all the way up? Just keep it simple. So now it's 1 hour and 12. Block time is 1 hour and 50. Yeah, block time is 1 hour and 52. Altitude's 33,000. Cruise profile is Mach 0.86. Distance is 543. Winds aloft or average winds are 235 at 66. 6,179 pounds of fuel have to be on board. 2797 is going to get us to Juneau. 7 passengers with 350 pounds of cargo. 0 fuel weight is 24.56 over 24.4. Takeoff weight is 29 over 36, and landing weight is 26 over 31. So all that looks good. We are going to have min takeoff is 57.29, which is 2 hours and 51 minutes worth of fuel. Taxi fuel is 450 pounds. So that looks good. Let's get this filed on VATSIM. I clicked the wrong thing. So it's this one. We'll do this here. And, okay, so call sign is November 621 Charlie Hotel. Flight rules are IFR. Aircraft is Citation 10. Medium weight class Really? It's a medium weight class category? Okay. Equipment and transponder codes look good. Departures Anchorage. Arrivals Juneau. Off block is 030. Alternate is Yakutat. Altitude is 33,000. And time en route's 1 hour and 12. Airspeed's 504. And our endurance is 251. Departure's going to be to Nowhen, then the Cushy, then direct to the Juneau airport. I already have an idea as to what approach I'm already going to be flying in there if we land on runway 26 anyway. It's either going to be the localizer or the RNAV. Just really depends. We'll see what happens when we get there. So yeah, all of this other stuff looks good. Let's file this flight plan, and right off the bat, we get our little ping right here. So what does this say? It says, "Does not appear to be any controllers providing clearance delivery services at your airport. Anchorage, please squawk 4616 for your IFR flight from Anchorage to Juneau. This will aid in your identification by any ATC that may be online later in the flight." Okay, cool. This thing on the APU never came on, that little light. So we'll just pretend that it did. And then it says load shed switch normal. So the load shed switch is over here. Yeah, so that's already set to normal. And then APU bleed, we're going to switch that on. And now it says something. What does that say? Oh, bleed valve open. Okay. All right. Oh, I got to align the IRSs. What am I doing? So we'll set that to align, and we'll set that one to align. They did fix the radio in this, so I just have to play around with the settings here and see if we can figure out exactly. So let's see. Systems. Yep, here we go. So that should fix the radio. Boom, there we go. Now we got a functioning radio. Well, a functioning radio, we have like the actual bands that we need. So now it's got 3 spots instead of just 2. Enable auto throttle module. Sure, why not? And then everything else looks fine. Calibration. Yes, hang on. Pounds, kilogram. Yes, that looks good. Calibration looks fine, I think. It's not going to matter because we have, what happened here? Okay, so the reversers work, so that's good. Yeah, this is all Maybe we don't have D10 set here. Well, actually, maybe we do, because that's climb, right? Yeah, this is like the cruise. That's climb. But it doesn't matter because we have auto throttles, so it's not really going to matter. Yeah, so we're good here. Now let's load up all of our people and stuff. Ground services. These can come off. And then maybe it's not there. Where is... Wait. Yeah, it's in here. Import from SimBrief. Boom. Okay, so all of my SimBrief stuff got saved to the plane. So that's good. They reset the timer, though, so that's kind of annoying. Because they had an update for this plane today. So we have... Does it say how many people are on the plane? Hang on a second. So we need 7 people on the plane. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, plus the pilots. And then our... Is that fuel? Yeah, so that's 6179. Okay, so that looks good. Yeah, all this is looking fine, so we are good. So let's come back over here. Yeah, and then we're just waiting for the IRSs to get aligned. Whoops. All right. I really wish I could, like... Well, I guess I can, right? I can just do that. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's do the positive first real quick. So, there is... It's not... It's the init page, right? Where's the init page? Perfect. No, that's not... That's not what I wanted. Yeah, I think this is how you do it. So we're going to be at Anchorage. And our destination is Juneau. There's a pause in it. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for pause in it. How do I get back to it? Because I see it here. The pause in it. Here we go. Yeah, so we'll just do load, I guess. I don't know. We have to wait for that thing to get aligned anyway. I did not open up Navigraph because I am a little bit of a dope. So let's get Navigraph open, and then we'll show you. I'll show you guys how we figure out this departure that we're gonna fly. So we take a look over here. So the first fix that we're gonna fly to is no end, which is right over here. Oh, actually, I think no end is for runway 33. So if we're taking off on the 26, I don't think that's going to apply. So we have the no end 4 right here, but yeah, it's only for runway 33. So we have the Anchorage 1 departure, and I think the turn again is another one, but that's also for runway 33. Then there's the Potter. That's for the 7s. This is for 33. That's for the well, that's for the 2. No, that's for the 7. So it would have to be the Anchorage 1, which is not a whole lot to the Anchorage 1. But let's see what the weather is doing first. So let's come over here. We're going to do METAR, PANC. Yeah, so we're going to be using the 26s. So we have winds are 200 at 11, gusting to 21. Visibility is 10, few clouds at 4,500, scattered at 6,000. Temperature's 15, dew point is 6, altimeter's 3002. For the remarks, peak wind is 170 at 26, which was reported at 2208. So that's something that we don't really see a whole lot on ATIS's and weather observations. So this right here, it's the PKWND is peak winds. This is like the highest velocity the wind, well, like was. So it's going to have the direction and the speed. So 170 is the direction. The the 26 knots is the speed, and this was the time that it was reported. So 2208 Zulu. So that's probably the gust factor because it's 11 gusting to 21. So this was probably the highest gust that it reported. So it's a little windy in Anchorage tonight. Where are we heading tonight? We are heading from Anchorage, Alaska to Juneau, and then once we get to Juneau, we're going to figure out where we're going to go after that. So it'll be this first flight will be relatively quick. I think what did it say was like an hour and 12. Let's get the CTAF frequency while we're here. So let's do CTAF. I don't think there's CTAF in Alaska yet. Oh, there is. Okay, 118.3. Beautiful. So 118.3. So we'll keep this in the standby for now. The transponder code was 4616. And then I don't know if the bug with the transponder's been fixed, so I'm just going to do the transponder command up here. So it's .xpndr, and then it's 4616, just to make sure that the transponder gets registered in the VATSIM system. Because apparently this plane that had one of the bugs. This and the CRJ both have that bug. I don't know if it was changed with this update, but you know, better to be safe than sorry. So let's see. Okay, so nav is ready, so we're gonna set that to nav. And now let's get our flight plan plugged in here. So departure, we'll just do, what do we got? So there's two different runways we could use. We can use 25 left or we can use 25 right. They usually depart off of runway 25 right. So we'll use 25 right. Although 25 left would be the easier one for, you know what, let's just use 25 left. It's the easier one for us. That's what we'll do. So 25 left. So let's do next page. Oh, is 25 left not an option? Oh, there it is. Tomorrow 30th there is an event. Cairo Hurghada shuttle 16 to 18 and my C1 CPT as well as the same time. Would be nice if you flew this event. Well, I'm not going to be around tomorrow. I'm going to be out. I'm going to be gone for pretty much the entire day tomorrow. I have some other things that I'm doing. I would love to fly the event. I'm just not going to be here. Let's see. So it's that. What am I doing? Why am I an idiot? All right, so we're gonna go to no end. So NOEND. Then from no end, it's gonna. What was it? Cushy or was it? It was Cushy, right? Yeah, Cushy. DUSHI. And then for the approach going into Juneau, if we land on runway 26, which I'm pretty sure we're going to. No, I'm sorry, not 26, 8. If we land on runway 8, there's the RNAV approach, and that'll start from the Elephant VOR. Either that or the Sister Island VOR, either one of those, which Cushy's going to bring us pretty much right to it. So we'll figure that out once we get closer. So that flight plan is in there. We'll worry about the specifics once we're airborne. Perf in it, so we have this. Next page, yeah, climb, cruise, that all looks good. Next, we have transition altitude is 180. Initial cruise altitude, we're going to do 330. I don't want to fly that high. And then we're going to come to the next page here. So passengers, we have 7. And passenger weight's 1190. And our cargo was what, 250? No, 350. So gross weight's a little bit heavier than what SimBrief had planned for, but it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. Oh, I have to go back. Where the hell is it? I just saw it. Yeah, ISA deviation. ISA deviation is +5. Great. Oh, thank you. Sorry, the name is kind of like a darker color. That's Jads. Thank you, Jads. I appreciate that. Nice citation. Yeah, it's been like what, like a week or two since we've flown this thing, so not like we're in a rush or anything. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't turn on any of my lights. So that didn't do anything. Where's my nav light? All right, I cannot find any of my lights. Those are like the taxi lights and the landing lights. Oh, you know what? Yeah, the honeycomb. That's right. The honeycomb doesn't work because I'm using the 737 profile. Nav light. Where's my nav light? All right, lights are over here. So we have. We'll turn the pitot static heat. Yeah, pitot and static heats on, and then the lights. There we go. Nav lights on, and that's really all we need for right now. We'll do the passenger safety lights on. Jojo, what's up, man? Okay, so I think the performance is good. So confirm in it. Now we'll do our takeoff numbers. So runway 25 left, outside air temperature is 15. It's not 13. And then the altimeter is 3002. Good. Oh, do I just have to change it up? If I change it up here, will it? Yeah, okay, so it changes it in there. Beautiful. Just working your life away. Yeah, I feel that. Then the surface winds are 200 at 11. I mean, I got a nice 3-day weekend. I didn't even realize that today was like the holiday weekend. I just looked at the schedule. It's like, oh, I'm off on Monday. I'm like, why the hell am I off on Monday? I was like, oh, it's Labor Day. Okay, cool. So climb, that all looks good. Cruise looks fine. Descent looks fine. Landing, we'll worry about that once we get closer. I believe that is everything. Then we're going to do V speeds, takeoff speeds. So V1 is 126, VR is 128, V2 is 132, so that's fine. Whoops. Okay, so we'll continue on down this checklist here. So cabin doors, the cabin door should be closed and locked already. Yeah, we'll just keep this up here for a second. Ground, is this under ground services? Yeah, so chocks will leave in for right now. ECAS check for warnings. So there's a couple that are on there, but these are warnings that we know we want to see for right now, so that's fine. Passenger briefing. Hey, sit down, buckle up, shut the fuck up, don't touch nothing. All right, we're good. Let's see. Instrument and avionics, set course bugs. Yeah, I should probably set this to my runway heading. So runway heading, I think it's like 257. Let's see. So runway heading is 254, not 257. Made my DPE in a few weeks, yeah. Listen, leverage your DPE. If you need him to like, if you need him to take control of the plane while you're like reading a chart or like, cause like he might add like my DPE. He asked me to divert to another airport, and then he wanted me to use the E6B to figure out like what my numbers were going to be. So when he did that, I said, okay, you have the flight controls. I need to pay attention to what I'm doing. And that was actually something that he complimented me on when we landed. He's like, there's not too many pilots that will do that in the middle of an exam. He's like, so he's like, the fact that you showed good CRM in that like situation was a good thing. So I was like, oh, okay. I just thought I was being a fucking, you know, normal human being by not doing that while, you know, flying a plane. So yeah, leverage the DPE for stuff like that. Obviously, like, you know, don't leverage him too much, but if he asks you to run like a calculation or to like redo your nav log while you're flying the plane, be like, hey, you know, take control so I can do this. Because that's what my flight instructor, like, especially when I was doing my instrument training, he was like, listen, man, like, I know I'm your instructor, but I'm here to help you. Like, if you need me to take over the plane while you're trying to figure out, like, how to put something into the GPS, he's like, tell me, and, like, I'll take over the plane for you. I was like, fucking noted. So, you know, you work as a team. So, next on the checklist is, yeah, course bugs. Yeah, so 254, that's set. Fuel quantity and balance. Yeah, there's fine. It's 30-50 on one, 30, no, but it's 30-50 on here because the APU draws off in the left wing. So center wing transfer switches, normal as required. Sure. I don't know where that is, but it's never given me a problem before. V speeds, takeoff date in the, oh, right, takeoff date in the FMS page. Because I don't think it gave me the takeoff speeds. So what do we got here? We have this. Do we need flaps 15 for departure? I think we can get away with flaps 5. Next. I know it's in here. Oh, crap. I think I just saw it. Takeoff. Yeah, confirm. Yes, so I think it's takeoff in it. Then next. No, where are the V speeds? I know they're in here. Where are me V speeds? Perf, fuel management, climb, descent, perf data? I am going to punch somebody. Where is it? And I know, oh, wait a minute, is it here? There we go. So V1 is 127, VR is 129, V2 is 141. Beautiful. Okay, so that's good. Next we have the engine start checklist. Oh boy, we're already starting the engines. All right, so let's get the music turned off here, and we'll get this started. So, oh nice, we're leaking oil. Either that or there's black mold on the ramp. Hey, this said it was Atlantic Aviation. Why is it telling me this is Millionaire? Am I being lied to? All right, so I'll get this switched over to the CTAF frequency. Let me make sure that my settings are right here, so that way when we start broadcasting, that will be good. Okay, cool. So, next we have... Okay, so the APU's already started. The pack isolation valve knob has to be closed. This is always a thing that screws me up. So we're going to close that. Stark duct pressure, at least 30 PSI. I don't know where to see that. Oh, start pressure. Here we go. 47. All right, so it's 47, so it's at least 30. And then for the right engine, it says start, press, confirm start button, and disengage button illuminates. Throttle idle by 10% N2. Okay. All right, because it's... Okay, so I took them out of the cutoff detent. I've already done that. All right, cool. So it's down here, right? The starter? Yeah. No, that's not it. It's up here. So let's get the beacon light turned on. So beacon light is over here. So... Is it this? Ground recall anti-collision light? Well, I think these switches have to be on in order for it to... Yeah, I can see it blinking down there. There's one up here, or there should be one up here. Oh, it's on the tail. There it is. Okay. All right, so fire up engine number 2. Okay. Let me take the chocks away, though. So engine 2 looks good. So everything is looking good. And let's go engine number 1. I like how fast these engines start. Is plan cry? No, it's the PTU. Just like the Airbus. It has a PTU. Airbus does bork. Yup, Airbus bork. This plane bork. Okay, the oil looks a little... It's a little... Well, that's a temperature, right? So the PSI looks good. Fuel flow is good. Hides look good. All right, so we're going to get the generator... No, the generators are already on, right? This is DC. Yeah, so the generators are on. I think that's what that is. Yeah, so generators are already on. GPU is already disconnected. APU bleed switch is going to come off. And then... It says, let's see if we can do this. ECAS system, engine on the freaking thing. It's okay, so this is already it. So duct pressure is from the right engine. So I guess this is the duct pressure, right? So 16. So it says right engine bleed air knob off. Pressure should be 0. Where is that? Is that over here? So I don't know where these switches are. Right bleed air, right? What is it? Right engine bleed air knob off. Right engine bleed. If I'm not gonna worry too much about this because this is probably more of like a real world thing than it is like a simulation thing. Is it this? Yeah, it's this. So the right engine off. Pressure should be 0. Well, it's not 0, so that means I'm not doing something right and I don't give a shit. So I'm just gonna turn the APU off. And then we're going to open the isolation valve. And then, yeah, APU bleed air switch, that's going to be off. And then next is our taxi. Okay, so let's do a flight control check here real quick. Okay, ailerons are good. Elevator's good. Rudders and tiller are good. Speed brake is good. We're going to set the flaps for 5 degrees. That should be 5 degrees. It's not. That's 5 degrees. I really got to get detents for this thing. Let's get rid of this. So that's good. Yeah, everything here is good. We're going to get the taxi light turned on. If I could find it, it's down here. All right, let's make our first radio call, and let's get ourselves moving. All right. Anchorage traffic, November 621, Charlie Hotel, Citation 10, onto the Atlantic ramp, taxiing runway 25 left via Echo Zulu. Okay. So let's get the parking brake turned off. Out of the way. Where's my parking brake? Oh, it's back over here. All right, let's go. Actually, does Zulu come all the way out here? I don't think it does. Ah, damn, we can't tax it, so we'll just have to go. Well, we can take off at Echo. We could do a little intersection departure. And then once we're holding short of the runway, we'll do our pre-takeoff checks.
First traffic, Giant 334 Heavy, taxiing to runway 25 left via Kilo Charlie. We'll hold short, or we'll cross runway 25 right at Charlie.
Neat. You guys were able to hear that, right? That call that just came through? We did? Okay, cool. Oh, there's quite a few planes that are here now. Look at this. So we have... That's that Giant that just called in. So he's a Trip 7. That is that a National Cargo? Yeah, that's National Cargo right there. So let's just see what's on the before takeoff check. So we have... Anti-ice system, we want the... Well, we just need the pitot and the pitot static, right? We don't need anything else right now. Yeah, so... Yeah, then it's left and right engine stabilizer, slide anti... Yeah, so that's all good. The flaps are where they need to be. Slats are out. Yeah, and then next is just like actually taking off. But this says no takeoff. I want to know why that says no takeoff. Pack valve open left and right end, huh? Does that have to be closed? You know, I actually don't know. I forgot to read up about how all that works. It says no takeoff though. I want to know why that says no takeoff because that's a little concerning. You know, if we get an alert, fuck them. I like the high snow cat. Let's do this. We'll do heading. Why does that say no takeoff? What am I missing? Oh, is it the trim? The trim might not be set correctly. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
334 Heavy, crossing runway 25 right, Charlie, traffic.
Anchorage traffic, citation 621 Charlie Hotel, taking 25 left at Echo, westbound departure to the southeast. I completely fucked that up.
Safely.
Alright, so we got that. We have the wing inspection light can come on. We're going to do ground N, recall, recog light's going to come on, the tail flood light can stay off. Alright, so we'll do heading, and then once we're in the air, we'll do flight level change. So we'll go power 40%. Okay. Toga. Oh shit. That's what I need.
Anchorage traffic, Giant 334 heavy, holding short, 25 left on Charlie, traffic.
Okay, airspeed's, wow, we're already at almost freaking rotate speed. V1, we'll rotate.
Giant 334 heavy, we're going to line up and wait behind the departing traffic.
Anchorage traffic, 621 Charlie Hotel, upwind, 25 left. Okay, gear.
Safe flight.
You too, my friend. Alright, so let's go heading. And then let's do this. Let's start a turn to the south. So let's go like this. Alright, so we're going to go flight level change. We're going to set this to... Oh, I cannot... What happened? Why am I descending? Oh, did I not... Shit, did I not set my altitude? I did not. Shit, I knew I forgot something. There we go. I did not set the altitude. You know, play with Kim. All right. Appreciate you stopping by. So let's go. What's my heading at right now? Yo, let's.
Anchorage traffic, Giant 334 heavy departing via the Anchorage on departure to the northeast, or correction, southeast traffic.
We are still climbing real slow. Jesus. Hey, Gold coming in with the rate of 5. What's going on, everybody? Just give me 1 second here. Let's get some of these lights turned off. Recon can come off. That can stay on. Navs are going to stay on. Yeah, so we're good there. So welcome on in. For those of you that are coming in that may be new here, my name is Cross Hyper. What we do is VATSIM 101. So tonight's a little bit different than how we normally do things, although it's not going to be anywhere near as chaotic as it usually is. Let me set the autopilot. So how it works is I take you through a flight, break things down nice and slowly, and answer any questions that you have. So if there are any questions, you can feel free, pop them in the chat at any point, and I'd be more than happy to answer any of those questions for you. Anchorage traffic, citation 621 Charlie Hotel, approximately 5 miles south of the field, beginning our eastbound turn for an eastbound departure, passing through 7,500. All right, so we'll just let the autopilot take over from here. We'll let it fly out to this fix. So try and fly up this little river right here. That's usually what I do to get away from Anchorage. Although, because of the way that we're going, we're gonna have to fly out over the mountains anyway. So, but by this time, we're already high enough up where it's not gonna be a problem. Look, how was your stream? Where'd you fly?
Traffic, 334 heavy, turning southbound now. With the departure of the southeast traffic.
See if we can see him. Probably not going to be able to. Blue Fennec is dangerous. Nuh-uh. All right, so we are passing. Yeah, we're already at 10,500. This thing climbs like a rocket. It's like the one thing I'm not used to, because like, usually when I fly out of Anchorage, it's like with the 777 or the MD-11, and it's like you fly for 86 minutes and you're only at 4,000 feet. You play Copycat, which is adorable, but super sad about a stray cat. Oh. There was another game that was like that. I think it was called Stray, which is like you just play as a stray cat. I don't know if it's like the same type of thing or not.
Anchorage traffic, Giant 334 heavy, direct to Yeska now.
I don't know where Yeska is, but thanks. All right, so let's do... We're probably about like 7 or 8 miles southeast. Anchorage traffic, 621 Charlie Hotel, approximately 6 miles southeast of the field, passing through 1,800, departing the area to the east. So that'll be the last call.
Anchorage traffic, Giant 334. Again, direct, only 4,000.
Coming in a little broken, but it's fine. I got my eye on him. I'm looking at him on the map here. He's not even going to be remotely a problem for us because A, he's heavy. So he's only at 4,000 feet. So like this is him. So we are significantly higher. I mean, he is going a little bit fast. Well, no, actually, we're gonna go way faster than him. So it's fine. Ow. Stop throwing things at me. All right, so off to Juneau we go. It may get a little turbulent here in a minute as we fly over the mountains. But I can promise you it's going to be a lot bumpier going into Juneau. A, because we're going to be flying around mountains, and B, because I don't know how to land this thing. How do you turn the range out on this again? Is it this? Yeah. There should be a redeem where you are being sprayed with water, not like to hydrate. I think there is something like that. It's a little sus, so it looks a little sus, so I don't want to do it. But there is something like that. Alright, so this is no end right here. There is, and it pushes the streamer all the way back. Oh yeah, that's if I turn on the ragdolling. There's like a method, because like Night does that. But there's a way that you do it. So it's like the avatar has to have like a certain amount of like health or like hit points, and then you have to set the value of each item being thrown at you to a certain weight. Something. Look at that White Mountains. Take a screenshot. Oh, what? Like a... Ooh, hello. This? Actually, I could probably do better than this. Hang on. There. I did screenshot. Mods are bullying me. Mods are bullying me! Up there. Oh, you're welcome. Bonk. I wonder where's that 777 going? He's going to, oh, he's going to O'Hare. Okay, cool. Let me switch this back over to the Unicom frequency, though, because I'm still on CTAF. There we go. I don't think there's anyone to save me. No. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Or something. Some kind of cool quote that was said in history. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what femboys can do for your Saturday nights. I mean, what you can do for your country. Man, we are getting bonked up here. What? All right, so I was hoping that there would at least be somebody that was on. I mean, Vancouver Center is, well, they were on. Yeah, so once we get to Juneau, we can either fly south, we can come back up north to Alaska. I wonder what a flight from, like, Juneau to Seattle would be. I mean, that might be, like, close to 2 hours. That might be a little too long. Actually, maybe not. Let me do a quick sim brief on it. So if I go from... It's a quote from AFK. You mean JFK? So if we do PAJN to Seattle in the... We'll just do whatever. Oh, yeah, it's like 2 hours and... it's like 2.5 hours block time. That might be a little long. But there are a bunch of other airports down that way we could go to. We could fly to, we could fly to Castlegar. Castlegar would be a really interesting airport to fly to in this thing. I think we flew to Castlegar, I think, twice, right? We flew there once in the 7.3. I think that was the first time I flew to Castlegar, was in the 7.3. And then the second time it was in the PC-12. What was that? Is that somebody? Oh, there's somebody flying towards us. There you go. Did he pass us already? No, he's about to pass us. Yeah, look at that. That is a FedEx jet coming from Memphis. That's pretty cool. The other guy is like back over here. We can't see him. Awesome. Missile. So what time is this saying that we're going to get to Juneau? Does this tell us? Progress, right? Yeah, progress. So this is saying in about 52 minutes. All right. So we'll look at the weather observation in a little bit. We'll see what's going to go on. It's been a minute. Hope you're well. Been slammed with life. Yeah, no, you're good, man. But it's good to see you out there, Max. How you doing? So Juneau, of course, only has approaches for runway 8. So if the winds are too strong coming from the west, and we have to land to the west, then it'll just be visual. Which landing on runway 8 is just as fun. But we'll see what it looks like. And then, I don't even know where the FBO ramp is at this place. In Juneau, I think it's like behind the terminal. Yeah, I think the FBO ramp is like out over here. 'Cause these are all the T hangars out here, but I think this is where the FBO is at. Let me take a look. So if I go to Anchorage, not Anchorage, Juneau. We have... That's a helicopter base. More helicopters. Oh, actually, it looks like, just based on what I'm looking at in the pictures here, it looks like that FBO might actually be around here. I think behind the terminal is where the cargo is. Yeah, that's where the FedEx ramp is. Yeah, so we'll be out near the T hangars. Which is fine. All right, so we're up at our cruising altitude. And now we're going to accelerate. Yes, that's a good point, because once this starts accelerating, we are going to significantly decrease the amount of time it's going to take to get us there. But still, we're looking at like another 45 minutes till we land. So let's run a weather observation real quick. So we have .METAR, PAJN. So we have, it's updated on the 29th at 2250, so it's going to update here soon. Winds are 290 at 12, gusting to 20. Oh my god, we may have to land to the west. Visibility is 10, few clouds at 5,000, few clouds again at 10,000, few clouds at 25,000. Temperature's 21, dew point's 12, altimeter's 3013. Yeah, so we may have to land to the west. So there's no approaches. Circling to land is really kind of like not an option. Yeah, so I think what we're gonna have to do is we'll so Cushy is here. We're gonna have to be like methodical about this, because we're gonna have to come in back over here. That's our only option at getting out of this place, because we cannot land to the east with that kind of a wind. So maybe what we'll do, man, that's gonna be tough. So I guess we'll come out this way and then hook out over the mountain here and then come back around this way. That's really the only way we're gonna be able to do this. So what is, so yeah, 70, so we're gonna have to be at like 8,000 feet, 9,000 feet here and then descend once we get to the other side. Man, that's gonna be rough. This is gonna be rough. This is gonna be an interesting approach. Assuming that we can even see the airport. Maybe with a few clouds we should be fine. Jesse, what's up? How you doing? Is the Citation 10 a good add-on? I've been trying to find a decent... Yeah, the Citation 10's a really good add-on. They actually just released an update for it today. So, they came out with light texture versions. So, and I think maybe that's why my timer over here is was set to 0. Because I'm using the lower texture resolution for the plane, which it just, you know, it just uses less VRAM, uses less resources. But they did updates to the radio, so now it's the 8.33 kilohertz. So now we have 3 spots in the radio instead of the 2. They've updated like some of the flight dynamics and everything. I have, like, with the takeoff, I didn't really notice anything crazy. But again, I have not flown this plane in a couple of weeks. But yeah, I'm glad I decided to fly this plane today, because with the new update, it was exciting to see some of the new things that they got. But the lower texture resolution was definitely a good thing, because I like to use because it's like I'm not really outside the plane a whole lot, and realistically, if I didn't tell you that this was the lower texture resolution, would you have noticed? Probably not. So. But yeah, there's just a couple of things I have to learn about, like why the light on the APU doesn't come on, and like how to work the pressurization panel, because like this, I gotta read through the manual again. Why is this? Oh, did I not set the altimeter in this? Yeah, I did not. So we'll set this to standard. See a lot. You heard a lot of great things, but yeah, it's really a fun plane, and with this. There are other planes that these guys make that I want to check out. There's the Piaggio that they make, and then they have the Starship. So I've been eyeballing the Piaggio for a while, and then they dropped the Citation 10, and I was watching a couple of people, you know, fly it. And I said, ooh, this would be a really, really good plane for me to fly. And with the quality that you get for this thing, it's like a $25 plane. And I mean, it's the systems are in depth enough for me to enjoy it. You know, I definitely do like my high fidelity planes, and it's like, is this the most high fidelity plane that there is? No, not really, but it's fun. It's, you know, it's a relatively simple plane to fly. And it's, you know, it's in depth, like I said, it has enough depth with like its functionality and its features for me to enjoy it as somebody that, you know, flies planes IRL. So I enjoy it. I think it's a very good add-on. And yeah, for 25 bucks, you can't beat it. Especially being that it's a you know, basically like a, well, it's a medium weight class, right? But it's like a small jet. So if you were looking for a plane, like you were like, oh, well, I don't know where to start with like jets, like I want to fly Airbuses or Boeings, but like they're too complex, I can't learn it. You can learn in something like this or the CJ4, and it's not as complicated, and it'll at least get you used to using some of the functions that you'll see on like your larger jets, but you'll already knock out a lot of the things that you'll need to learn with those bigger planes while also learning the complexities of those bigger planes. What's up, Barbie? How you doing? The mods are in chat, guys. They said they changed something with the top of descent calculation on this too. So we'll see what that's all about. The only thing I'm worried about is like all these clouds that are here. I mean, it says few 5,000, few at 10,000, few at 25,000. So we should be okay to fly this visually. But my concern is like getting down and not being able to see this friggin' place. But I guess we'll just have to see. Chaos is about to unfold. Yeah, potentially. We'll see. Let's see. Just looking at something off screen here. All right, cool. Of course, chaos is about to unfold. Someone let the old man fly. That's right. The old man is back in the cockpit, and I'm about to make it everybody's problem. I can't believe the winds are that high in Juneau. Jesus. Like, if it was coming from the east, I'd be like, all right, cool. But it's coming from the west. It's just going to make our job. It's going to make my job so much harder. I got to do all this stuff visually. If he's the old man, then I'm ancient. You're a year older than me. Relax. Relax. Not old. I didn't say you were old. Who said you were old? I didn't say you were old. Let's just see what events they got going on next week. So we're done with August. So we have Northern Lights Tuesday again on Tuesday, obviously. Oh, there's one on... Oh, we have the event down in Panama again. We could do that. maybe we'll do that. The event starts an hour after we stream, but we can definitely get involved with that. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. We'll do the event in Panama, and then on Thursday we can do Mexico. They don't have Thursdays in Toronto up, but we can do Visit Mexico. Debating on whether or not I want to do something on Monday because I'm not working. Debating if I want to do something on Monday. And then Friday, of course, we have the plane train FNO in Atlanta. So we have a couple of cool events that we could do. Maybe we could take the Citation down to Panama. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll fly the Citation 10 out of Panama. I would say sorry. I'm like, well, you just did, though. You just did. We're probably pretty close to get the landing rate prediction open up, right? Yeah, so let's get the prediction open now. So we're about 30 minutes away. So we'll let the prediction run, as always, for 30 minutes. So top of the chat window is where you'll see that banner you can click on. And you got 30 minutes to get your predictions in for what you think my landing rate's going to be. And then, of course, once we land, I will show you in Volante so you know I'm not making it up. So 30 minutes, everybody, and good luck. Let's see, just looking at other airports. Yeah, so it looks like, I mean, we could fly to something like Kodiak in this thing, right? Can this plane get into Kodiak? I bet you can, because Kodiak's not like a gravel airport, right? No, we could fly to Kodiak. That could be one of the airports in the vote. That would be a fun airport. Yeah, so we're not gonna have an approach that we can do. So if I do flight plan, is there a way for? Yeah, it's nav, right? So it's gonna be arrival. Runway is gonna be 26. But there's an RNAV for runway 26. What? There's no RNAV for 26. Yeah, I don't know what this thing is talking about. Nibble, what? Where is this approach? Hold up. Is Navigraph missing something? What does AirNav say? Airports. Yeah, there's no RNAV approach for this airport, dude. Runway 8. No, not 8. Arrival. 26. I have no idea what this arrival, what this is. It says nibble. Where are these fixes? And where is it getting this information from? So we have nibble, hide, Jbab, Ibaki. Where are these fixes? So this is nibble. Wait, no, where's Nibble? I genuinely have no idea. I have no idea where these fixes are. Yeah, they're all along the river. I don't know. Yeah, like all these fixes are along this river. I have no idea where it's getting this information from. There's no published RNAV for this runway, but I mean, we're gonna go with it. I have no idea where this plane is getting that from. I'm gonna have to ask in their Discord where they got that from. Where's our top of descent, by the way? So progress. Do we not have a top of descent? Oh, we're probably not going to because I think this is discontinuity. Top of climb. Oh, top of descent, 170 miles. Okay. Well, that's gonna put us like at the airport, isn't it? No, the airport's like 300 miles. Yeah, I have no idea where it's getting that RNAV from. What altitudes do we need to be at for it, though? Does this say? Yeah, it's got altitudes. I really want to know where this came from. I'm very curious. Oh, okay, so Alaska Airlines has made their own proprietary approach for runway 26, so maybe that's what they're using. I don't think I'm gonna have a way to get that, because if it's proprietary, then Alaska probably does not have it out there for the public. But just looking on Google, it looks like Alaska Airlines basically developed their own RNAV runway 26 approach for Juneau. Okay, so then that's got to be where it's coming from. So I mean, I guess that's good to know. Why even are they just wanting to feel special? Well, because Alaska's really like... Isn't Alaska like the only airline that flies into Juneau? And most of the... I mean, well, not most of the reason, but like... they also do the milk run. So there's a couple of airports that they fly to that don't have... approaches. So it would not surprise me if Alaska flying into like some of these really small airports like Wrangell that don't really have their own approaches, if they like pioneered their own procedures going into and out of those airports, because they're like the only people that fly in and out of there. I think Alaska's the only airline. Well, it might be Spirit Airlines too, but yeah, that could be it. Because you know, I think Alaska Airlines still does the milk run up there. So like they fly 737s in and out of some of like these really, and like we've done the milk run a couple of times on stream. But yeah, they fly into and out of some really small airports up there with like 737s. So what does this have us doing here? So it's gonna, okay, so cushy, then discontinuity. So let's do this. Let's reload this this arrival here. We'll do the RNAV 26, and we'll do it from the, do we want to do it from Sister Island, or we want to do it from Nibble? Probably Sister Island is probably going to be the smartest way to do it. So cushy, so let's fly directly to the Sister Island VOR. And then from Sister Island, it's going to take us to Nibble. So Sister Island is over here, right? No, it's somewhere out over here. Oh, it's over here. So Cushy's right here, and Sister Island's down here. So it's going to take us from Sister Island out to Nibble. Nibble's going to be over here, and then it's going to turn us inbound to come up this river. So yeah, going over the Sister Island VOR, that's exactly where we're going to want to be. So I don't think I'm going to descend down below probably 8,000 feet until I'm on the other side of this mountain, because this is saying our minimum sector altitude is 7,700 feet, and then over here it says 8,300 feet. So I just don't want to descend down too low. And if I have to vector myself around to go to Nibble, that's fine. I just don't want to descend into that mountain. That would not be very good for neither my physical nor mental health. Oh, and I do see our top of descent about 150 miles away. Let's see, our descent checklist. So it says left and right, windshield. Oh, did I not turn the windshield anti-icers on? Yeah, those are supposed to come on. Whoops. Side window vent knobs, those are, I haven't touched those, so those are going to be closed. Pressurization, I still don't know how to work the pressurization panel in this plane. And then... yeah, then next it says to, it says to turn the APU on during the descent, but I'm not gonna, I'm gonna turn it on when I'm on the ground. I don't know why they would want me to turn the APU on during the descent. It's this, and what was the other plane that I was flying where it said, like, turn it on during the descent? I think it was the MD-80. It's like you hit flight level 180, APU on. Like, why? So let's turn this down here. What's the CTAF for Juneau? Well, let's get another weather observation here. Okay, so now it's 290 at 8. So not as windy, but we're still going to land to the west. It'll still be fun. So yeah, few at 5,000, few at 10,000, few at 20,000, temperature's 22, dew point's 12, altimeter's 3012. Yeah, I mean, we could land on runway 8 if we wanted to because the winds have died down a lot, but it's still going to be fun to land to the west, so we'll do that. Check out this approach that apparently we're going to do. And then the CTAF frequency is going to be... oh, there isn't one, so it's going to be 122.8. Yeah, I don't know what the minimums are on this approach. What's the field elevation? Field elevation in Juneau is 25 feet. What's typical of RNAV approaches? It's like, I mean, shit, the RNAV minimums on the runway 8 approach are like 1,880 feet. You know what? We're just going to do it visually. So as long as we can maintain visual separation with the frickin' mountains and everything that's around us, we'll be fine. But if it is too cloudy and it's not going to be safe for us to fly down that valley, then we'll abort and then we'll land on runway 8. What I am going to do real quick is I'm just going to step away for a minute just to use the restroom. So let's take a quick, like, minute or two break. I'm just going to step away real quick and turn off the avatar so that way it doesn't freak out when I stand up. So give me, like I said, a minute or two, and then I'll be right back, and then we'll hopefully be able to start our descent going down into Juneau. So, be right back. Okay. We're back, sorry. So don't forget, you still got about 15 minutes left in the landing rate prediction, so make sure you get your predictions in. Don't miss out on the nuggie. Thy nuggie. Thy holy nuggie. Okay, so top of descent. Oh yeah, still got 100 miles. For some reason, I thought it was a lot closer. I thought we were, like, at it. Okay. Is there anybody else going to Juneau? There's somebody that just took off out of Juneau. It's a Vision Jet going to Prince George. And there's an Alaska flight. Yeah, it's a 737 that's about to land. Where's the terrain radar? Because I am going to need that. There is a terrain radar. I know there is. I know there is because I've used it. Where's the terrain radar? Am I an idiot? I think I might be an idiot. Where's the terrain radar? I mean, I'm gonna need it. Is it MFD? Yeah, there it is. Okay. So we'll keep that. Oh, we can do traffic, terrain, or both. Okay, I did not know I could do both. All right, so we'll leave that there for right now. Good Lord. Touchdown point prediction is 2,500 feet. that could be a potential problem because the runway is 8,800 feet long. Well, I mean, I guess in the Citation 10 it wouldn't be that big of a deal if I put it down on the 2,500 footers. Yeah, it's looking pretty cloudy down there. It says few clouds my ass. There's a whole overcast layer down there. But then again, we're still a little ways out from Juneau. So right now we are... Where are we? So we're coming up on Dry Bay Airport, but we're basically about, I want to say maybe 30 or 40 miles east of Yakutat. So like we're here. Then Juneau's all the way down in here. So, and it looks like there is a break in the clouds up ahead here, so I can see like where the mountains are poking through. So it looks like there might be a break in the clouds. It looks comfy, yeah. You might be very upset if you tried to plop down on one of those things. You'd probably get a little wet, too. Are we flying to Lukla with the Duke today? No, not today. We could potentially do that next week, though. We could do that as our Thursday stream. We could potentially do that. I don't know how the Duke is going to do going into Lukla, but we could. That would be fun. That would be fun flying the Duke into Lukla. I mean, we did it with the PC-12. Land within the first third of the runway. Meanwhile, test pilot landing figures air distance over a 50-foot obstacle might be longer than the ground roll depending on the plane. Well, yeah. Depending on the plane. Yeah. I forget what the numbers were for the Cherokee. Because I know my landing distances were like 400 feet. And I think over a 50-foot obstacle it was like 800 or something. I have to look at the POH again. I forget exactly what it was. It was something along that line. Twin Otter air distance is 999. Total landing distance is 1,000. I think I put a little too much faith in the landing rate. Yeah, you never know. You never know. So what are we, 50 miles from our top of descent? Yeah, 50 miles pretty much exactly. Yeah, so I still can't really see. Yeah, so it's... What the hell is this? I'm very confused, because I'm seeing that... We'll wait until we get a little bit... I have no idea what that's doing. It looks like that might be the missed approach, but, you know, I have no idea what the hell's going on. So it's got Nibble, Jebab, and then Adar. Was that Moigu? Yeah, I don't know. We're going to find out, though. Pretty much just going to, like, we're going to follow this route, and we're just going to see what happens. And if it does something that we don't like, then we'll do our own thing. You never, I know for sure I never know. I tell you what, though, that approach going into Martin State last night, that was a lot of fun, but I could have flew that arc a lot better. And I think, because as I was doing it, because, you know, I was using that bottom VOR to track the different radials that made up that fix, but I think what I was supposed to do, and I was thinking about this last night, I think the HSI, because I think the way that if I'm recalling it correctly, I didn't look into it, but I'm going to. But I think the way that you're supposed to do it is that I should have tracked the Baltimore VOR off of my HSI, and then once I got to Slough, I turn the plane inbound to go to the first fix. And I think I'm supposed to set the HSI every 10 degrees. So I think it was like 330. Then I turn the HSI to 340, wait till it centers, 350, wait till it centers, and then that helps me maintain that arc. I think that's the way I'm supposed to do it. I have to read up on DME arcs again, though. But I think that's why I got to the inside of that arc as much as I did, because I wasn't using the HSI. I think that's how so I should have did 330, 340, 350, 360. I think that's how you're supposed to, because I remember it's like turn 10 degrees. Something like that with DME arcs. I'm pretty sure that's how you're supposed to do it, but I have to read up on it. Because I remember, and I think what I'm about to say has to do with holding patterns. I don't think it has anything to do with DME arcs, but I was thinking it's turn, time, twist, throttle, talk. I don't think that's for DME arcs. I think that's for holding patterns. But for some reason, that popped into my head last night after the stream. It was turn, time, twist, throttle, talk. I'm pretty sure that's for holding patterns. I don't think it's for DME arcs. But then that got me thinking, wait, I was supposed to do 10-degree increments with the HSI to keep me on that arc. Something like that. I'll ask Captain Steve. He'll know. Alright, so if I switch this to, it should not start descending, right? No, it's going to hold altitude. So let's set this to 8,000 feet right now. Oliver, thank you for that follow. Welcome aboard. Oliver Heiferbull? Heiferbull? I think I started the landing rate prediction a little early. Yeah, because now it's saying 27 minutes. Yeah, it started a little bit early, but it's fine. Because it's going to end in 5 minutes or so. But it probably added that much time to it because I just put in that approach. But it is what it is. Not that big of a deal. We'll have another flight after this that you guys can bet on my demise for. Man, there's a couple of different places that we could go to. Just trying to think of Seattle's gonna be a little too far. Ketchikan might be a little too close. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to just start looking around. But flying to Castlegar would be pretty cool. I forget exactly where that is. It's up in Yukon, right? Let me see if I can just... Castlegar. CYCG. Oh, no, that's even further than Seattle. Okay. I thought Castlegar was further north. Jesus. Okay. It is not descending. Oh, is that why? Alright, well, you know what I'll do? I'll just do vertical speed. And then once we catch it, I'll put the... Yeah, I hit the VNAV button. That's what I didn't do. fast it wants me to descend. Does it show us our vertical deviation? Probably not, right? Oh, well, it's coming back. So, yeah, we're 2,700 feet above where we should be, but it is reeling itself in. So what I'll do is I'll bring this to, like, 3,300. Yeah, see, what does it have us doing right here? It has us coming out to the north and then circling back around, which is a little concerning. Because there's this gigantic mountain out here, and that's a pretty tall mountain. Yeah, I don't know if I like that. We'll just see when we get closer. I kind of don't like that. Because those mountains out there are pretty tall. Although, I guess directly to the north of the airport, not really. I don't know. It does look like there's a break in the clouds, though, so we'll at least be able to maintain, like, a visual separation. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if I want to do that. It says 5,900, but that doesn't tell me. Yeah, I don't know. We'll just see what it wants us to do, and if we have to break off early and just, you know, fly to the south, then we'll do that. So we're like 40 miles from the airport. That is okay. So that's not the airport. That's just like the final fix. Yeah, the airport's gonna be out over here. Somewhere out over in here. Yeah. Okay, so that's not, so this is like the airport here, so it's gonna have us, oh, does it have us go, it's gonna cross Nibble and then turn back, I see what it's doing. Okay, so that makes more sense. I think I'm putting up what it's I think I'm picking up what it's putting down. Yeah, I think that's the valley that we fly through. Oh, whoops. Did not realize I wasn't back on the main screen. My bad. actually, that's, so the airport's probably like over here. Yeah, I don't even know. But that's looking like that's the little valley we're gonna fly through. I just don't see where it opens back up. So I could be looking in the wrong place. Oh, there it is. Okay, so that's the valley we fly through, and then the airport's going to be out over here. Oh, we're below our transition altitude, aren't we? Yeah, let me put my altimeter setting in here. So it's 3012. And then same thing over up here, we'll do 3012. Let me make my position reports here. Yeah, we're about 20 miles. Anchorage traffic, citation 621 Charlie Hotel, approximately 20 miles south of the field. Inbound landing runway 26. This is the kind of approach where the plane becomes a rail fan. Wait, did I say Anchorage traffic? I think I may have said Anchorage traffic. Meant Juneau. $3,000 nuggies in the landing rate. Oh boy, it's a lot of nuggies. That's a lot of nuggies for you to lose. Okay, so I see what it's doing here. So after nibble, it's going to have us turn. So I think it's going to have us turn before we get to that mountain range right there. Because nibble is over the water. So it's going to have, yeah, I think I see what it's doing. All right, I'm going to turn the music off here. You don't lose, I guess we'll see. Juneau traffic, citation 621 Charlie Hotel, 10 miles south of the field, descending through 10,500. Flying outbound to the east, then we'll circle back around, landing runway 26. You voted too? All right. Oh, maybe I should do my landing perf, huh? So let's do perf data, landing. So runway 26, outside air temperature is 22. Winds are 290 at 8. The altimeter is 3012. Next page. This is all looking fine. And then flaps will do 35. And then, yeah, so we're going to need 2,900 feet to stop. And the runway is 8447 long, so that's good. Yeah, we're looking good. we'll start throwing our lights on. So let's do landing lights on. We'll do the recog lights on. And, oh, I never turned the wing light off. Oops. So we'll keep this coming down. Bring it down to like 2,000. What's the... Yeah, we'll keep it at 2,000 for right now. We'll probably hand fly it once we get into the valley. Citation 10, I've been flying this thing hundreds of hours in X-Plane 12. Yeah, I've flown it a bunch of times on stream. I haven't flown it in like a week or so, though. I didn't fly it all last week. And then the week before that, I think, is the last time we took it out. So it is a fun plane, but yeah, this week I wanted to fly the MD-80, and then I also wanted to fly the Duke. So we were able to get that. And then I think we're gonna take the Duke to Lukla next week. Maybe we'll do that on Thursday. And then for there's an event in Panama, we might take this out for it. I just like it because it flies really fast, so we can do like longer flights in like the same amount of time. So this thing should start turning us here in a second. There we go. Yeah, now it's going to follow this path. So we're like 15 miles. Juneau traffic, citation 621 Charlie Hotel. 15 miles southeast of the field, circling back in, landing runway 26. Yeah, so it's like this is like, I guess, like it's procedure turn that we're doing here. Just for the Duke, I'm obsessed with that plane. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to fly last night. I thoroughly enjoyed that flight that we did last night with it. Okay, so now we gotta fly back up that way. Now, is there an approach mode? Yeah, there is. Beechcraft? Yeah. Yeah, you were here last night when we were flying it, right, Aleskis? This is going to keep us at 6,000. Oh, yeah. Nibbles at or above 5. And then, okay. I see what it's doing. Yeah, I don't know, like, where this approach is actually coming from. I might throw that in the Discord, like, hey, where did this approach come from? But it also could be, it could be from the Navigraph database, too. It could be something that Navigraph has. Alright, so I am going to bring my speed back. I don't want to fly 250 knots right now, so I'm going to bring this back to 200. We'll go flat, we'll bring the slats out. Actually, you know what? Let's go flaps 5. Wait, that should be flaps 5. No, it is not. Miles. Juneau traffic, citation 621 Charlie Hotel, 15 miles southeast of the field, coming up through the valley for runway 26. This feels like a Kathmandu approach. It kind of is. Alright, so what is my approach speed? I probably should have looked at that before. Fuck, what is my approach speed? Yeah. Well, it's gonna be like somewhere around 130 knots, I'm sure. Oh, V approach is 125. Okay, so it's on the FMS for me. So what I'll do is I'll start bringing our speed back now. So I'll bring it to like 130. Actually, that might be, hang on. Let me keep it at 170. Might be a little too far to go to our approach speed yet. Let's see if this starts descending on its own. Yeah, so it will. You have an angle of attack indicator? Yeah, yeah. Alright, let's hand fly this.
You know what that means? Fish!
Juneau traffic, citation 621 Charlie Hotel is in the valley. About 12-mile final, runway 26. Alright, let's bring the gear down. And we'll bring our approach speed back to 130.
Terrain. Pull up.
And we'll go flaps. What is this? Flaps 15. We should be able to go flaps 30 now. Yeah. So we'll keep the auto throttle on. Beautiful. Yeah, this approach is a lot of fun. Like flying in through this valley, I like doing this. I was just nervous that it was going to be like really cloudy. Realign my heading indicator here. So I know I'm a little bit off on the flight director, but I'm effectively shooting this visually, so I'm not really relying on the flight director. Not for lateral guidance, anyway. I mean, I can bring it back over a little bit, though, so I don't get too close to that mountain on the right. But as long as I keep it over the water, I'll be fine. Auto throttle off. What speed say? Because I can't really see it. Juneau traffic, citation 621 Charlie Hotel, 5 mile final, runway 26. Is that the runway right there? Yeah, that looks like it. Be a little long. A little high on that. All right. Juneau traffic, citation 621 Charlie Hotel, vacating runway 26 at Charlie, taxiing straight ahead to the ramp. Okay, so bring the flaps up. Let's get the APU going here. So this is going to be master on, generator on, and then APU start. Oh, whoops. I stopped. Okay. So we'll get this on standby. That can come off. We'll turn off some of these lights. So we'll just do ground recall only. Recog light can come off. The wing inspection light can come off. And yeah, we'll taxi out, kind of like where that 7.3 is right there, that Alaska jet. Put the music back on. Yeah, so the FBO is over in a this way direction. So let's see, let's cheat a little bit here. Yeah, those are the helicopter spots, so I'm gonna park like right over here. Let's see. Ooh. Okay, a little over that grass line right there, but all right. So we'll get this on here. The APU looks like it's good. Bleed air is gonna come on. Shutdown checklist. Let me make sure I don't miss anything. Landing. Yeah, throttles. Well, that's okay. So let me bring the throttles. Okay, throttles had power apparently. So parking brake is set, anti-ice systems all off. We'll leave those on for now. Thrust reversers cut off, they're fine. IRS modes, we're gonna leave those on. There's something that I missed. Well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna do... Damn it, it's this. Because once I do that, it's gonna... The APU is gonna keep the electricity on. So let's do this. MFD, we'll turn this off. I guess I can only do one or the other. Yeah, TCAS can stay where it's at. Yeah, everything, I'm just gonna leave everything kind of the way it is. Then this can come off. And yeah, EPU is good. Let's bring the EFB back up. And we will get the chocks in. And then I can turn the parking brake off. Main door is gonna come open. As will the luggage door. All right, cool. Very nice. Okay. So, let's do the landing rate prediction. I'm a little bit nervous about it. I'm not sure what it's going to be. So, are you guys ready? In 3, 2, 1. Landed a little fast. Oh, no, never mind. The landing speed, I think, in this is like 105. So G-force is 1.02 and minus 178 feet per minute. Where did I put it? I put it down like halfway down the runway. I know it's going to be like halfway down the goddamn runway. Yeah. Jesus Christ. I put it down on the threshold of runway 8. That's probably about 2,500 feet, Camaro, if I'm being completely honest with you. That's probably about 2,500 feet. I think it was Camaro that said he was predicting 2,500 foot. That's probably about 2,500 feet. All right, so let's see who our winners this evening are for the first landing rate prediction. So we're gonna do, it's between 151 and 200. So that is going to be, we have one winner. Let's see who that lucky winner is. That is James with 3,090 nuggies. Oh boy. So congratulations to you, Mr. James, on your winnings. Enjoy all of the nuggies and the abuse of power that comes along with it. I fear for what the next flight holds. All right, so let's think of a couple of places that we can go. So we could do like another Alaska airport, you know, maybe come back up to the north a little bit. We could do, well, Fairbanks might be a little, actually, what would Fairbanks be? I don't know how long it would take us to get to Fairbanks. So if I do PAJN to PAFA, and if I just do it with whatever plane, it's 2 hours and 5 minutes. So it's a little longer. We can go to Whitehourse in Canada. We could do, yeah, I think Vancouver is going to be too far. CYVR. Yeah, that's even longer than going back to Fairbanks. We said Kodiak. We could do Kodiak. So let me just throw a couple in here. So let's do Pole. And we'll do, where do we fly next? Where do we fly next? So we'll do Kodiak. which is PADQ. We'll do Whitehourse, which is CYXY, I believe. Let me just double check that. Whitehourse is, yeah, CYXY. We can do, yeah, there's a lot of like smaller airports that we can do. And we'll just do one more. Usually I try to do 5, but just because of how limited this is. Because like if we do Ketchikan, that's gonna be way too short of a flight, potentially. Hang on, let me see. Where are we? Where is that? It. Ketchikan is PAKT. That's probably feasible, to be completely honest with you. That is, it's a block time of 1 hour and 15. Yeah, you know what? We'll do that. We'll do Ketchikan. How do you even spell that place? So it'll be KETCHIKAN, and that's gonna be PAKT. Oh wait, that's only 3. All right, let me do a 4th. God damn it. I don't know any airports out here. I don't want to spend too much time trying to friggin' pick an airport, though. What's Cold Bay? Cold Bay is PACD. Oh, that's like a 3-hour flight. Yeah, let's not do that. Yeah, you know what? Let's just do those 3. Just to get a poll going. So that poll will be up for the next 2 minutes. So you guys get to vote on where we go next. So we have Kodiak, Whitehourse, and Ketchikan. So we'll let that run. And then I'll reset my sim brief here. Across the Whitehourse is bad for you? Potentially, I don't know. But yeah, poll is up, so everybody vote. Your vote counts. Vote on where we go next. So it looks like you had about 45 seconds left. I'm not going to look at it until it's done. I don't want to spoil it. I think I'm supposed to open this. It is a nice looking plane. That door is sitting kind of high, though. Door in the Citation 10 doesn't sit that high. All right, got a couple of seconds left, so let's see. It looks like 3, 2, 1, and... Oh my God, we have a tie between Kodiak and Whitehourse. All right, I'll do a coin toss. So let's do... So we'll do heads for Kodiak and tails for Whitehourse. So let's do this, and we'll just because it flipped it automatically. So we'll flip, and it's tails. So we're going to Whitehourse. All right, cool. because you guys are indecisive as shit. All right, so let's get some things set up here. So let's do, I think I have to realign the IRSs. So we'll do ident. No, that's just the navigation data. Pause in it. So we'll do this, and then flight plan is going to be, oh, how do I, oh, clear flight plan. Here we go. So origin is going to be PAJN, and then we're going to go to CYXY. 20,000. What was it? 20,000 nuggies if we go to Whitehourse, but like, what is it for? Is that what you're going to put in the landing rate? Okay, so let's do a flight plan here real quick. So airline is not going to be anything. Flight number is also not going to be anything. Departure is PAJN. Arrival is CYXY. Alternate's going to be auto. Departure time 01:45. Why not? That's 30 minutes from now. That'll be, oh, excuse me, more than enough time. We are going to have the Citation 10, which is the 750. And it's going to be the FlightFX with no winglets. Yeah, oh, Jesus, look at this route that we're taking. God. All right, so departure is runway 26. Arrival is 14 right. Altitude, passengers, freight, payload, 0 fuel weight. Those are going to be set to auto. Looks like we're going to fly the... Is that the ASOR 2 and ASOR... What? Oh, it's the ASOR 2 departure through the ASOR transition. Is that what that is? That's exactly what that is. Then from ASOR, we're just going to fly directly to the Whitehourse Airport. That's a very funky way of doing it. So this is going to be a relatively short flight. This is probably going to be like a 30-minute flight. So let's do this. Generate flight. Let's see what it gives us. Flight number is UPS 0. What the hell happened there? All right, let me... Why is it UPS? 621 Charlie Hotel. All right, so call sign 621 Charlie Hotel. Departure is Juneau. Arrival is Whitehourse. Alternate is going to be... What? Are you kidding me? So my alternate is like... Just make the alternate Juneau. Good lord. All right, well, at least we have plenty of fuel. So alternate is that. Aircraft is the Citation 10. Departure date and time is August 30th at 01:45. Airtime is 33 minutes. Block time is 1 hour and 13. Initial altitude is 28,000, which is fine. Cruise profile is Mach 0.86. Average winds are 239 at 28. Winds are going to be... Oh, that's the wind component. Block fuel is 5127. 1406 is our en route burn. 9 passengers on board with 344 pounds of cargo. 0 fuel weight is 24.4 over 24.4. Takeoff weight is 29.7 over 36.1. Landing weight is 27.6 over 31.8. So that all looks fine. After ASOR, what is this? That's the top of descent. I guess I'll just do, is there a VOR at, I guess if there's a VOR at the airport, I'll just put that in there too. But either way, it's going to be fine. So we have, yeah, this is all looking good. Briefing preview. Min takeoff is 46.77, which is 2 hours, 25 minutes. It's our freaking alternate. We have more fuel to get to the alternate than we do to our destination. That is friggin' hilarious. And our alternate's like an hour away. I didn't even know that was like an option. What airport is that? Terrace? That's good to know. I gotta start doing research on more airports up here. We need to cross holding piston emote. Holding a, oh, pistol. That's a piston. I'm like, why a piston? All right, so let's get this filed. And then all this looks, 61 Charlie Hotel, flight rules IFR, aircraft is Citation 10, medium weight class category, equipment and transponder codes are fine. Departure is Juneau, arrival is Whitehourse. Off block is 01:45, alternate is Terrace. The altitude is 28,000, en route time is 33. Airspeed's 517 knots with an endurance of 2 hours, 25 minutes. We're going to fly the ASOR 2 departure through the ASOR transition, then fly directly to the airport. So then we'll file this flight plan. And let's get this plugged in. Actually, let's do this. Is there a... Get this out of here. Unload. Well, actually, what I can do this. So we're going to do map, plan flight. I'm going to import this here. Cool. and then we'll come back over to Navigraph. We'll import this. Let's see if there's a VOR, because it's not going to, like, the GPS is just going to fly to ASORT and then, like, shit itself. So let's see what approaches we have here. Is there a VOR at the Whitehourse Airport? Probably not, because it's in the mountains. So let's see. What was the runway that it wanted us to land on? It was 14 right? So 14 right. So if we just take a look at the approaches for 14 right, so we have the RNAV. We could go to Simki, although it wouldn't really make sense to fly. It's like the transition from Simki. This approach looks like it would be a lot of fun. So let's do that. We'll just go to Simki. We'll go from ASORT to Simki, and then from there we'll do the RNAV Yankee. So let's do that. So we're going to do departures off of runway 26. It's going to be the ASORT 2 departure through the ASORT transition. And then from there, we're going to fly to Simki. That way, it'll get us... Yeah, there we go. Did you lie? What? What happened? What happened? What did I miss? What are you guys plotting over there? I'm very scared. And anytime you guys are plotting something, I immediately get afraid. Okay, so we'll do that. Yeah, if we can fly the RNAV Yankee for 14 right, that would be awesome. That looks like a very fun approach. All right, cool. Do we have a new squawk code? No, we do not. So we didn't get like one of those little auto ATC pings, which is fine. All right, cool. So let's take a look at the ASORT 2 departure. So we have PAJN, which is Juneau International Airport. Where are you flying internationally at? I guess Canada. If you're flying to Canada, technically it's international. Which is in Juneau, Alaska. We have the ASORT 2 departure for runways 8 and 26. So transition altitude is 18,000 feet. ADF or DME required. We have a GPS on board, so we're fine. Caution, rapidly rising terrain to 3,000 feet, north, south, and east of the airport. Terrain is 1270 MSL and 1718 MSL, approximately 2 nautical miles southeast. Yeah, be careful. There's freaking mountains around you. If climb and holding anticipated at Cushy, advise ATC prior to departure. Yeah, because if we don't get to 10,000 feet by Cushy, we have to fly this holding pattern. So, pretty straightforward. We're taking off on 26. We're going to come out this way. So, it looks like we are going to take off and then immediately fly a heading of 252 degrees, fly it out to the Poland Island VOR, and then from there we're going to fly to Barlow, then we're going to fly to Linz, then the Cushy at or above 10,000, and then out to ASORT, and then from ASORT we're going to start our turn inbound and start flying towards the Whitehourse Airport. And then just to make sure we have read this right, so climbing left turn, heading 252 to CGL, oh, it's an NDB, not a VOR, or the localizer west course to 2 DME, from CGL, or the localizer. So we're going to fly course 251 bearing from the CGL NDB to Cushy, then on IDJL West Court. Jesus Christ. So I guess we just fly. Yeah, that's how it tracks. It just flies the localizer all the way out. It's just a lot to read. Climb gradients, what do we have here? So standard minimum with climb of 595 feet per nautical mile to 800 feet, then 360 feet per nautical mile to 10,000. So we'll just do the 595 is what? Up to 800 feet, we're going to be at like 150 knots, so that's at least 1,500 feet per minute. And then 360 feet per nautical mile, we're looking at 1,500 feet. So we'll just make sure we're, you know, like 2,000 feet per minute at least in the climb. We'll be fine. All right, cool. So that's easy, but I'll leave this up on the screen here for another minute or so in case anybody does have any questions. Feel free, throw them on in the chat. And I'm just going to run weather observation off screen here real quick. So PAJN, and it's, oh my god, okay, so the wind's picked up a little bit again. So we have at 053 Zulu, winds are 280 at 13, gusting to 17. Visibility is 10, few clouds at 3,400, broken at 4,700, broken again at 10,000, broken at 20,000. Temperature is 20, dew point is 12, altimeter is 3012. And then for the remarks, It looks like a broken 4700 V scattered. V scattered. I don't know what that actually means. I think V is vertical. I don't know. Interesting. All right, so let's come back over here. Let's get everything loaded up into the plane. So we'll do this. Config, and then, no, it's not. I did the wrong thing. So we'll do weights. Import from SimBrief. Beautiful. Let's make sure that's looking right. So our so gross weight is 29,532, and our estimated takeoff weight is 29,077, so that's fine. Fuel is 5131. Block fuel is supposed to be 5127, so we have a little bit more. It's not a big deal. We have 9 people, so the plane is full. So everything is looking good. Oh, is the passenger... So the passenger weights are 175. So I had that wrong the last time I did this. So let's come over here. We're going to do our perf data. So cruising altitude is going to be 28,000 feet. So we're going to do 280. E not active. Okay, so I don't do it there. Can you not? All right. So we'll do... So let's do this. Runway 26. So it's 280 at 13. Nope, that was... So that's the winds. And then the outside air temperature was 20. And the altimeter is 3012. So that should adjust when I do this, right? Yeah, 3012. Next... So we have this, and then our flaps for departure we're going to set to 5. Confirm init. And then next page, so V1 is 125, VR is 128, V2 is 140. Climb, top of climb altitude, we're going to do 280. Cruise, that looks fine. Oh, we're going to be flying pretty fast, 0.88. And then, yeah, that looks fine. Landing, yeah, we'll worry about that later. Was this fuel management? Yeah, I don't need to worry about that. I didn't miss anything here, did I? Transition altitude, initial cruising altitude. Yeah, this is all looking good. Oh, passenger weight. So it's 175 pounds. Oh, no, it says 170. What if I do... Yeah, I can switch that. Okay. Cargo is going to be 344. And I believe that is everything as far as the FMS goes. Yeah, I think we're good. Flight plan is good. And... yeah, we can get rid of... Actually, I need that back up because we need to start closing doors and such. So let's bring this back over here. Ground services, main door. We're going to close that. Close the luggage door. Bah! Thank you for the hydrate. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll take a sip of my water here real quick. I'll take another, like, 30-second break. Just so I can go refill this thing. Because I have about a quarter of this bottle left. So yeah, let me, I'm going to take another, like, you know, quick, like, 30-second to a minute break. I'm just going to go refill this water bottle real quick. So, once again, I'll turn the avatar off so it doesn't have a panic attack when I stand up. But, if you guys want to do the same, if you want to get up, get something to eat, something to drink, now's going to be the time to do it. And, when we get back, we'll fire up the engines, and we will fly on up to Whitehourse in Canada. So, we will be right back. Okay. So let me get the chocks taken out here. First I'll activate the parking brake. Chocks come away. Then we're gonna do this. Let me run through just the checklist again, make sure I'm not missing anything. So yeah, we'll just start the before start checklist. So yeah, I already know. Standby power is on. Emergency light switches are on. Battery 1 and 2, obviously that's on. ECAS power switch, yeah, that's on. APU is already started. Avionics power is already on. IRSs are aligned. FMS, everything is set. Parking brake is set. Wheel chocks removed. Cabin door is closed. Passenger briefing. Just sit there and don't fucking touch anything. All right. Next we just got the, well, it says ATIS, but it's not an ATIS, but it's a weather observation, so it's fine. We are not talking to any air traffic controllers. There is no clearance for us to get. Instruments and avionics, flight plan set, course, bugs, pointers as required. You know, I'll set my heading bug to 252 degrees. How does that sound? So we'll do 252 degrees. Fuel quantity and balance. So it's 2550 and 2570, so that's fine. And then center wing transfer switches, normal as required. Those should be okay. Yeah, so these are on normal, so it's fine. V-speed set takeoff data, FMS page. Hang on a minute. Was I supposed to actually set those? Where was it? Now it's going to take me forever to find it. Perf in it? Nope. The hell is it? Oh, it's on this page. Yeah, it says key not active, so I don't do anything with that. But I guess I can check to see if they're up on here. So MFD setup. No, that's not it. EFD setup. Okay. Oh, V speeds. So takeoff speeds. 127, 129, and 141. Okay. So that's good. Get this back over here. And then engine start. So let's get the music turned off here, since we will be going sterile cockpit. And APU is started. Pack isolation valve, we're going to close that. And start duct pressure. Yeah, I guess we can just check that. So that's going to be engine. So that's at least 30. So yeah, that's above 30. And then we're going to do right engine. It says press confirm start button and disengage. Oh, I have to pull the throttle out. So it says by 10. What the hell happened here? Okay, well, I guess they're out now. All right, so let's start up engine number 1. Or engine number 2, not engine number 1. So engine number 2. I just like hearing it start. All right, so engine 2 looks good. Do engine number 1. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Oh, whoops. Your internet's dying. RIP. Yeah, it's not on my end. Not yet, anyway. Alright, so engine 1 looks good, so oil pressure and temperatures are good. We have fuel flow. Then we have volts. Yeah, volts and amps look good. Hydraulics are good. Shit. Bump my keyboard here. I'm not getting a anything for the stabilizer trim. You have to set it for takeoff, but I guess it's going to come up in a minute. Is there something I'm supposed to do here? You know, all of this stuff looks good. So yeah, generators are on. APU, yeah, so we're gonna turn the APU bleed air switch off. And then we're gonna turn the APU itself off. So generators off, master off. And then we're gonna, is that supposed to be closed or open? Yeah, the last thing it says to do is to close it, so I'm gonna leave it closed. Yeah, because it's just doing like the bleed air thing, and I don't understand, because even it's closed and it says it should be 0, and right now it's 16, so I don't know like what I'm supposed to do. Okay, so, oh, Jesus Christ. I just closed out of it. All right, there we go. Then before taxi, flight controls, we're gonna make sure those are free and correct. Whoops. I don't know what I just did. I just hit the FlightFX switch. So let's just make sure these are working still. Okay, flight controls are free and correct. Then we're gonna go 15 on the flaps. Okay, there's the takeoff range here. Yeah, everything is looking good. All right, so let's get the parking brake turned off. And taxi light's gonna come on. Let's make our position report, and we'll get ourselves moving. Is that 737 still behind us? No, he going. All right, cool. So, oh, shit, what did I do? My bad. Sorry. Where is... All right, this is what I wanted to do. Over here. So we're going to taxi to 26. We're just going to go down taxiway Alpha. Going to be nice and simple for us. So let's make our call here. Juneau traffic, citation 621 Charlie Hotel, taxiing runway 26 via Bravo 2 Alpha. Get a little more power to these. I'm so used to the A350 where you just like bump the throttles a little bit and you're already at V1. I guess I got a taxi on the vehicle access road here because that's like where the taxiway center line is. Left and right is clear. Is the terrain radar, I think I turned off, right? Yeah, so let me do MFD setup. Yeah, we'll do traffic and terrain. I don't think there's anybody that's here. No, nobody that's flying into Juneau anyway. Oh, I didn't set my altitude again. Let me set this for 28,000. And it's funny, it's a 30-minute flight, so pretty much once we transition off the departure and turn inbound to fly towards Whitehourse, we're going to have to open up the landing rate prediction. That's going to happen pretty fast. Help you? Help you with what? What did I do? What do I do? I don't know what to do. They got some really good coverage over the U.S. tonight. This whole thing is lit up down here. Yeah, look at this. I've never seen that much ATC on like that before. The key to flying a plane is knowing nothing. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's a lot of air traffic control to have on for a not FNO. Which, you know, whatever. I really enjoy flying in Alaska, so I'm really glad that we got the chance to do this. Man, this is a hell of a taxi, huh? Looks beautiful, though. Yeah. It's one of the reasons why I really like flying in Alaska is because of how pretty it looks. Like, when we do, like, some of, like, my favorite flights to do on stream are when we do the milk runs, which we haven't done in a while. I think the next Alaskan FNO that we get, we're going to do the milk run, or part of the milk run. That's one of the things about flying into Juneau especially, is how pretty all of this is. Like, I love mountains. Like, I would love to have a house in the mountains. Alright, so we'll hold short of the runway here. We'll do the rest of our takeoff checks, and then we'll go. Alright, so you've got... Yeah, I think that takeoff checklist is like nothing to it. Yeah, so this is set. We're going to turn our lights on here. Wing light's going to come on. Passenger safety lights are already on. Ground and recall anti-collision light. Recog light coming on. We'll do the tail flood light too, since it is getting dark. Transponder is set TARA. The code is in there. And we are good. So let's skedaddle. Juneau traffic, citation 621 Charlie Hotel. Taking runway 26, will be departing to the west. So what I'll do is this. I'll take this out of standby mode. We'll go heading mode, and we'll do... Probably not VNAV. I don't think we do VNAV. Let me set the auto throttle to FMS. All right, throttle 40%. All right, toga. And we'll set the auto throttle. Airspeed's alive. 80 knots. V1, rotate. V2. Positive 1. Nav mode. Ow! Oh my god! Oh my god, you're gonna kill my PC again! Flaps up. Oh, I'm at like 260 knots. Let me set the autopilot. What is going on here? Alright, so this is not flying to where I need it to go. Are you going to start flying towards Barlow? Alright, let's just do it manually. You are doing something fucky and I don't like it. Alright, so how far am I from the airport? I think I'm like 10 miles at this point. Maybe a little bit closer. Yeah, I'm like 5 miles. Oh. Juneau traffic, citation 621 Charlie Hotel, 5 miles west of the field, climbing through 6,700, departing the area to the west. Yeah, it went to like 430, but it didn't want to do anything past that, so I guess, that's a little bit of a fucky. Alright, so let's turn off some of these lights. And we'll do we'll turn these lights off, we'll turn this off, we'll turn the wing inspection light off. Yeah, we're already at 10,000. It's a friggin' rocket ship of a plane. That's not my doing, it's all your fault. It's all your fault. Blame the mods for everything. Alright, let's get the music turned back on here. And I'll make one more radio call. Juneau traffic, citation 621 Charlie Hotel, 10 miles west of the field, climbing through 10,800, departing the area to the west. Alright, off we go. Maybe we'll get lucky and Edmonton Center will come online. Actually, no, it would be Vancouver, I think, not Edmonton. Right? No, Whitehourse is Edmonton. GG's, yeah, GG's. Rip bozos. So let's see. We're going to fly out to A sort. Yeah, and then it's going to be a hard right-hand turn. We usually do it during well, you guys do it on departure too. At like the most inopportune time, because it's like, you know, on landing it's one thing, but like on departure I have to be able to hear the controller when he says something to me. So like on departure it's annoying. On landing it's hilarious. But like this time on departure, obviously I'm not talking to anybody, so like it is what it is. Imagine if it was on, if you guys did that on an FNO, I would legitimately be pissed. Like that level of chaos on departure on an FNO, yeah, I would immediately go to the mixer and silence it. Like, no, I cannot have that during an FNO. All right, so we're at our transition altitude. Let's go standard here. Oh, actually, we're not at our transition altitude yet, but too late now. Oh, whoops. Went a little too hard. All right, 2992. All right. So let's see. This is showing... yeah, like 25 minutes. So let's do a, well, you know, we'll wait a couple of minutes because it's almost the top of the hour. So we'll wait a couple of minutes. We'll get the weather observation for Whitehourse, and then, oh yeah, Whitehourse is like right there. This is Whitehourse right here. Yeah, that's really close. But it's all good. Only thing I hate about Spectrum Wi-Fi routers, it don't support 2.5. Mine does. Mine does. The one that they just can call them up and get a new one. The one that I have supports it. If you're using the ISP's equipment, call them like every 6 months and see if there's any updates for the equipment that they can give you. That's what I'm going to start doing. So like at the end of the year, like come December, January, I'm going to call and be like, hey, I was just curious to see if you guys have any, because they're not going to send it to you. They're just going to leave you with what you got. And then like every 6 months, just call and be like, hey, is there like an upgrade to my equipment that I can get? And if there is, they'll send it to you. When I was in the apartment, that's what I did when I had when I had Spectrum stuff. It was every 6 months I would call them. Be like, hey, you know, I have this modem. Is there a like an upgrade you can give me? They'll be like, oh yeah, we have a new modem that's been out for like a month now. Same thing with the router. Where's my upgrade? Call AT&T and ask for them. Say, hey, listen, you know, we've had this modem. Like, is there like an upgraded one? Same thing with the router. Call them and see. Yeah, they'll send it to you. If there's upgrade, if like there's new equipment out there, they'll send it to you. Yeah, because I remember when I called when I was in the apartment, because I was having like issues with the Wi-Fi, and they said, well, they was like, oh, well, we actually have like a newer router that we can send you, or like a newer modem, like, you know, we can. I was like, cool. Do you have new equipment? And then she said, I remember she was like, yeah, like if you call every couple of months to see if there's upgrades, like we'll send it to you. I was like, okay. When you call them, that's how you. Yeah, you have to call them. If they had to call every single customer, they would take them 3 months to do it. So yeah, just call them like every 6 months. All right, so Sinky's right there. So let's just do a weather observation now, because we're getting kind of close here. So we got METAR, CYXY, so we have At 0100 Zulu, winds are 180 at 18, gusting to 24. Visibility is 40. Few clouds at 6,000, scattered at 12,000, broken at 25,000. Temperatures 24, dew point is 6, altimeter is 2991. I forget what all of this means. CF1AC3. Yeah, this is has something to do with the clouds, I think. Yeah, I think this is cumuliform, and then alto cumulus, and then cirrus, and then that's like the altitudes that they're at. I think that's what that is. So yeah, we'll plan on runway 16 right. Right, that's what we were planning for. Or 14 right, excuse me. So yeah, I'll start getting everything prepped for this. It'll be the RNAV Yankee 14 right. Let's do no higher or anything, just get to the point. What do you mean? Flight plan. Let's do destination. Oh, that's not how you do that. I need to get to my... Come on. All right. Arrival. Runway is going to be runway 14 right. It's going to be the RNAV Yankee 14 right from Simkey. Stars. We're not going to fly a star. We're not going to fly a star. So, activate this. And then there's a discontinuity because we're going to Simkey twice. So we'll just go to Simkey once. And our top of descent is in like 80 friggin' miles. Okay, so let's do this. Actually, top of descent's in like 50 miles. Let's get the landing rate prediction open. This is all happening really friggin' fast. So we'll get this open for 30 minutes. When calling Spectrum. Yeah, no, I can just call them and be like, you know, they'll say, you just call and be like, hey, you know, I was just curious to see if there was an upgrade to the equipment that I can get. Why do you want me to fly? I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm going to go 0.87. Actually, let's do 0.86. I don't like how I'm going to be at that barber pole, so I'm just going to do 0.86. Yeah, so at about 50 miles, we'll start our descent. Let's get the CTAF for Whitehourse. CYXY, that's going to be okay, so 118.3. It's the exact same as it was at Juneau, so we already have that set. And let's take a look at the RNAV Yankees. So we have CYXY, which is the Eric Nielsen International Airport in Whitehourse, Yukon territories. And it's the RNAV Yankee, runway 14 right. Not going to be talking to air traffic control during this flight. CTAF is going to be 118.3, so that is the frequency that we're going to be transmitting on. Final approach course is 140 degrees. Minimum altitude at Sindhu is 3,800 feet, so that's probably going to be our final approach fix. 3,800 feet is the altitude we have to cross it at. RMP decision altitude is going to be 2,773 feet. Airport elevation is 2317. Runway elevation is 2277. MSA within 25 nautical miles of the runway 14 right threshold is 8,300 feet. In the event we have to go miss, it's a climb on track 140 to Itred, then a climbing left turn to 8,200, track 101 to Exavi, as required shuttle climb. So climb track 140 out to Itred, then a climbing left turn to 8,200 feet on a track of 101 to Exavi, and then as required shuttle climb. Altitude is going to be set to inches of mercury. Transition flight level is flight level 180. So we don't really have to worry about a whole lot of this. So authorization required, not really have to worry. Number 2, RF required. Sure, I don't know what RF actually is. Number 3, safe altitude within 100 nautical miles is 11,200 feet. For uncompensated Barrow VNAV systems, procedure not authorized below minus 29 degrees Celsius and above 54 degrees Celsius. Don't have to worry about that. So we're going to start the approach at Simkey. Maximum speed of 210 knots at a mandatory crossing altitude of 8,300 feet. From there, we're going to fly to Zavka. Max speed of 190 knots. Then to Pikby. Then we're going to start a U-turn out to Sindhu. Then from Sindhu, we're going to continue on to runway 14 right. In the event we have to go missed, we're going to fly out to Itred, up to 8,200 feet, and then out to Exavi. Again, shuttle climb up to 8,200 feet if we need to. And then from there, we'll start the approach again. So final approach fix is at Sindhu, which we have to cross at 3,800 feet. And then from there, it's going to be a 3.2 degree glide path down to runway 14 right. So it's going to be a little bit of a steeper approach path than what we're used to. And then for ground speed of about 120 knots, approach speed's about 120 knots in this plane. We're going to be looking for, let's call it 700 feet per minute on the descent. We're going to be looking for runway end identifier lights and a PAPI on the left-hand side of the runway. And then, of course, our decision altitude is 2773, and our visibility requirements are at least 1 3/4, so we are good to shoot this approach. So I'll leave this up on the screen for another minute or so. If you do have any questions, feel free, throw them in the chat. I'd be more than happy to answer any of those for you. Third leg, no, not tonight. No, I do have to be up kind of early tomorrow. Fly out of CLT next. I can do a flight out of Charlotte. Not tonight, but I could probably do that for next week or the week after or something. I wonder what it would be from like oh shit, I'm going way past my minimums here. 27. Let me set this first. 2770. What did I say we were doing on Tuesday? Oh, we were doing the flight out of Panama on Tuesday. And then Thursday I said I wanted to do Lucklaw. Well, we could do Charlotte on Friday because we have the FNO in Atlanta, so we could fly from Charlotte to Atlanta. I don't know why it has to be up early. Yeah, cannot imagine why. But no, there's also a VR event that I'm going to at 11 o'clock. So that's like kind of like my new thing on Fridays now. There's meetups at 11 o'clock on Friday, so I try to go to that. Well, I'll pop in there for a little bit. Yeah, no, next Friday we can do Charlotte to Atlanta, and then from Atlanta, you know, like always, we'll vote on where we go from there. I'm thinking about taking the MD-80 out for it, but I don't know if I'm ready for an MD-80 and an FNO yet. If we do out of Charlotte to Atlanta, it is legally obligated to be in a DC-9. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it would be cool to do. I just don't know if I'm ready to take an MD-80 out on an FNO yet. I think I could do it. I just don't know if I'm ready. Fuck it. You know what? We'll do it. We'll take the MD-80 out for the FNO. We'll do it. And if something goes wrong, I can always disconnect from the network, right? Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do the MD-80 from Charlotte to Atlanta, and then from Atlanta, we'll vote on where we go after. Okay. Well, no, we'll just like if, because mainly my concern is like the approach, like doing the approaches in that thing. But if something goes, I could just disconnect from the network, land, and then reconnect to the network when we get to the gate. But I am good at hand flying that thing. It's just with it, because the descents are so slippery with it, and I'm still not like 100% on like how the speed control works, but I think we could do it. I think we could do it. Oh shit, did I miss my top of descent again? Fuck. Alright, hang on. Oh shit. How far off am I? So it's progress, next page. Okay, so it's coming back. Oh my god. I'm not doing a third leg. I'm just doing 2 legs tonight. right, so we're gonna set this to 38, and the VNAV is gonna make sure we don't go below the altitudes that we're supposed to be at. So Prague. Where is... Alright, so I have to bring this down a little bit more. I can't believe I missed my top of descent twice. This in, and then the altimeter, I'm gonna run this one more time. CYXY. Okay, so 0100, wasn't that like an hour ago? Yeah, this should be updating soon, but it's just not. But it's fine. So altimeter is 2991, so we'll be good there. Got distracted with the yap. Yap, 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 yap. Aleskis the yapper. Yappin' Aleskis. I yap. It's okay. I yap too. Yap, yap, yap. I do. Oh my god. Kim coming in with the rate of 2. What's going on, Kim? How was your stream? Okay, so we're catching up here. So 2991, 2991. Oh, thank you for shouting out Mr. Cume. So how'd your stream go? What were you guys playing tonight? Was okay, tired for no good reason. Yeah, I feel that, man. Work kicked my ass thoroughly this week. So I get you, my friend. Pal World? Oh, yeah, that's a game I still have not played yet. I don't know if I'm ever gonna play it, but when it was coming around and it was like all the rage, I was like very interested in it. We gotta talk of that raid alert. Yeah, I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna change it to something else. Snowcat was there for a bit, but also left part way due to tired. Yeah, that's fair. Alright, so we're gonna switch this over to CTAF here. Whoops. And yeah, we're about 20 miles away, so let's start making our position reports. Whitehourse traffic, November 621, Charlie Sierra, citation 10, 20 miles south of the field, descending through 15,200, inbound runway 14 right. I'll turn the music off now so we don't get, well, so I don't get too distracted. And then we'll do this, we'll do that. Okay, so the terrain radar is still on. We are going to be flying through a valley here. So again, we're flying to Simki at a max speed of 210 knots, mandatory altitude of 8,300 feet. Then we fly to Zafka, max 190 knots, then to Pikby, and then turn around, fly to Sindhu, and then from there we're going to land on runway 14 right. In the event we go miss, it's going to be a climb on track 140 degrees out to Itred, then a climbing left turn to 8,200 feet out to Exavi. If we're not yet at 8,200 at Exavi, we can continue the climb in the hold, and then from there we'll fly out back to Simki and then try the approach again. Decision altitude is 2,773 feet, so that is the altitude where we are going to decide whether or not we land the plane. And let me bring this in just a little bit further. And I'll make my 10-mile call. Whitehourse traffic, November 621, Charlie Hotel, 10 miles south of the field, descending through 12,300. Inbound landing, runway 14 right. it looks like we're already slowing down to 210 knots. That's good. That is our airport right there. So 14 right is going to be the runway on this side. So it's going to be a little bit of a shorter runway. No, I'm sorry. 14 right is the longer runway. I'm an idiot. Don't listen to me. I just don't know where we're going to park once we get here. Can't really park on the terminal. That's where all the airliners go. Oh, I think there's an FBO to the north side of the ramp. Yeah, there's an FBO to the north side of the ramp. Alright, so we're within... Yeah, 10 miles of the airport. Let's start turning our lights back on. Recog light. That was actually... yeah, we'll do the tail flood light, wing inspection light. Look at that prediction. Oh, yeah, thanks, Demencho. Oh, I didn't do my landing data. Shit. Perf, landing. Temperature is 24. Winds are 180 at 18. That's fine. That's fine. Landing data. Cool. So, approach speed's 133. Okay. Whitehourse traffic, citation 621 Charlie Hotel, midfield, left downwind, runway 14 right. Approach mode. We'll go flaps 15. Why is the the terrain radar is not working? All right, I'm gonna hand fly this one. All right, we'll go gear down. And we'll go manual on the speed control. So it was 133. Hila coming in with the rate of 4. You're just in time. We're about to land in Whitehourse. Welcome on in, everybody. Sorry, we're just doing an RNAV approach into Whitehourse right now. We're going to be landing here in the next couple of seconds. Oh. Citation 10. The Citation 10 is it. Yeah, this is a really fun plane. I've been thoroughly enjoying this plane. This turn on the approach looked like it was going to be a lot tighter than what it actually is. Maybe because I'm flying a lot slower. Because I'm pretty much at my approach speed right now. Whitehourse traffic, Citation 621 Charlie Hotel, left base, runway 14 right. But yeah, thanks for the raid, Pure Luck. How'd the rest of your stream go? What were you guys flying? The Stract update. Not great. Finished a long haul in the Trip 7 and got a really bad FPS. Ooh. Yeah, that's not good. Sorry to hear that. I know that can be very annoying when you do a long flight like that and then all of a sudden your performance tanks and then your sim crashes. I know what that's like. That's the way it is. Yeah, sometimes it happens. It's happened to me too. Sometimes even your chat will crash your stream on landing. You know, you'll just be flying out to Lisbon, and then, you know, your chat will just decide, you know what? We don't want you to stream anymore. And then they just crash the stream. Barbie, to be fair, I don't think you were there when that happened. It's still like top 5 funniest things that's ever happened on stream. Called Spectrum guy said that. Yeah, that's the thing too. My new router, it's a Wi-Fi 7 router. I didn't even know that was an option. But he said he could request one for me. He said he can only ship out a router and see what I got. Yeah, yeah. You're getting a new router. Whitehourse traffic, Citation 621 Charlie Hotel, turning 5 mile final, runway 14 right. You missed it, Sally. Yeah, that was during World Flight. Don't worry, we got World Flight again here in, what, 2 months? It's in November. First week in November. World Flight is when all the internet issues for me started. And I've been fighting with Spectrum ever fucking since. God, look at that airspeed tape. It is bouncy. It's just all over the place. I'm just gonna keep the speed up just in case. Could have been there that day to stream with so. Oh yeah, I can show you the clip tomorrow, Barbie. I put it on my TikTok when I come over there tomorrow. flaps coming up. We're going to turn the landing lights off. And we'll turn the floodlight off. Recog light can come off. We're going to set the anti-collision lights to ground recall. Or ground recog, not recall. Wing inspection light can come off. Yeah, everything else looks like it's fine. We'll get the music turned back. That was a much faster flight than I thought it was going to be. Alright, so we'll just taxi on in. We're going to taxi up to over here. To the top side of this ramp right here. This is like where the FBO kind of is. So we'll turn this off here. Let's get the APU turned on. So we've got master on, generator on, and then APU start. There's a Citation 10 pilot on YouTube who says he pushes the yoke forward at the same time he pulls the speed brake. Noah's not wanting to fall. It sounds about right. Are you supposed to pull the speed brake on this thing when you land? Oh, yeah, you're supposed to extend it. Okay. So at touchdown, you're supposed to... Okay, you're supposed to reach down and grab it. Okay. Oh, yeah, then it says elevator control forward pressure at touchdown. Okay. I never really read too far into the landing checklist like this. Yeah. Oh, and the thrust reversers, you can keep them deployed until 65 knots. All right, so that's good. I'll put this in standby. This right here, this says air tanker apron, so I guess this is where all the firefighting planes like recharge their tanks. It's also where all the extended range planes hang. What do you mean extended range planes? Oh, the fuel tankers? Yeah, that makes sense. Whitehourse traffic, Citation 61 Charlie Hotel, crossing runway 02 at Echo. It's a hell of a displaced threshold. It's a 1,239 foot long runway. Tell you what though, for a not FNO, this is a really fun flight. Anchorage out to Juneau and then Juneau out to here. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Love the first approach. Yeah, that going into Juneau, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, I really want to know where they got the data for that approach from, because I've never seen an approach like that going on a runway 26. So we'll park on this little pad right here. All right, so parking brake's gonna come on. We'll just go through the shutdown checklist here. So parking brake is set, anti-icing systems are gonna come off, so we'll turn these off here. Yeah, thrust reverser, yeah, we're gonna set these down here to cut off. That's like the throttles, not really the thrust reversers. And bleed air, oh, I didn't turn the bleed air on, so let me do that. And then we can do passenger safety lights off. And then, yeah, we'll just leave everything the way that it is here, so that way the plane doesn't shut down on us. But we can come out over here. We will get the chocks in. Main door is going to come open, as will the luggage door, and then we'll turn the parking brake off. Perfect. Okay, so let's do the important part, boys. Well, let me disconnect from the network, and let's do the landing rate prediction. 2 cup holders for the FO, I guess. Yeah, I get none. Well, that's probably why. That's probably why there's 2 over there, because there isn't one over here. Yeah, that's probably exactly why. All right, are you guys ready? In 3, 2, 1. It was about the same. So it was a little bit of a harder landing. So 189 feet per minute. So yeah, it's effectively the same rate as it was the last time. So that's going to be between 151 and 200. So it looks like we have 2 winners, and let's see who those 2 lucky winners this evening are going to be. So we have Jojo and Aleskis. So 11,200 nuggies going to each one of you, so you can thank Dementio for that, because he's the hoarder of the nuggies around here, apparently. So enjoy all the nuggies and the abuse of power, as always, that comes along with it. And with that, everybody, we are going to conclude this evening's stream. That was fun. Now, I'm really glad that we did some flying in Alaska again. So I know there wasn't any air traffic control on for the entire night, but honestly, that's a lot of fun. I love flying in Alaska so much. So for those of you that may be new here, what we do is VATSIM 101. And how it usually works is I take you through a flight in VATSIM, break things down nice and slowly as we go through it, and answer any questions that you have along the way. So we go through things like how to talk to air traffic control, how to file and fly your flight plans, how to read the different charts and publications, really just going through the basics of IFR flying on VATSIM, giving you the resources and knowledge that you need to be successful on the network. So I'll pull up the, this is this week's streaming schedule, so I don't know if I'm going to have the schedule up tomorrow, because I'm not going to be home for most of the day, but by Sunday, I'll have the schedule posted for next week. But this is the normal stream schedule, Tuesday through Friday, starting at 2300 Zulu. Tuesdays and Thursdays are the VATSIM 101 streams like I had just described. Friday nights, what we get into are the FNOs, or Friday Night Ops, which are the big chaotic events that VATSIM puts on for the community. Tonight, there was no Friday Night Ops, so we were just hanging out in Alaska and, you know, obviously parts of Canada, just doing some, you know, some fun flying up here in the Citation tent. So, you know, the idea is that we take a little bit of a step back from the VATSIM 101, and I show you guys you know, what VATSIM looks like in some of these bigger events. But of course, you know, tonight's kind of the exception to that rule. Wednesday nights, we have a vote in the Discord for what game you guys want to see me play. So when I post up the schedule for next week, I will also have a list of games that you can choose from that you guys want to see me play. And then Tuesday night is when we announce what game it is that wins. So I'll post the Discord link in the chat for you guys. So it is an 18+ Discord. Just keep that in mind. In order to join, you will need to be 18+. Socials link is where you can find me on some other platforms like YouTube and TikTok, where I do have some VATSIM 101 style content for you to take advantage of. So if you are somebody that is new to VATSIM, or if you're just looking for a refresher, those videos will certainly be of very good use to you. So make sure you check those out as well. So let's see. I'm going to keep tonight's outro relatively brief. Let's see who we can go say hi to. We can go say hi to Slant. Slant's flying, what is that, the 727 it looks like? Is that what he's doing? Oh, he's flying the Avro. Okay, he's flying the 146. So, while I'm getting this raid set up, I do want to thank you guys for coming out tonight and hanging out for as long as you have, and for all the raiders that have come through tonight. That was Cume, Peerluck, and there was another one earlier on in the night. That was Gull. I don't know if Gull is still out there. I would imagine she's probably not. But very much appreciate the three of you raiding on into us and sharing your community with ours. Can't wait to do it all again with you next week. So I'm going to get this raid set up here. And as always, when we get into Slant Alpha's chat, we are going to spam the Nuggie. So that's going to be this emote I'm popping in the chat right now. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, you can use your Nuggies to unlock the Nuggie. Spread the love and the positive vibes in Slant's direction. You know him, you love him. Let's go say hi. And as always, make sure you tell him that Cross Hyperu has sent you. So we are going to be back Tuesday night, everybody, 2300 Zulu, 7 p.m. Eastern, for another edition of VATSIM 101, breaking things down nice and slowly, answering your questions along the way, and as always, just having a really good time. So we will see you all then, everybody. Thank you so much once again for hanging out. Really appreciate all you guys coming out here, continuing to support what it is that we do. Really can't wait to do it again with you Tuesday night. But until then, everybody, this is Cross Hyperu, signing out.